Hello, Mzansi. It's Saturday afternoon, and you know what that means. It means Hollywood Bets brings you Game On. I am Sizwe Mapena, proud to let you know that later on in the show, we'll close off with a special interview, of course, with royalty in South African football in the form of Lance Davids, former international who also played abroad and here in the PSL as well. We'll have a special catch-up session with him. But before that, let me let you know we will be sending our get well wishes and hope to see you soon to Jerry Skosana, who's off sick this week, meaning I've got Shane McGregor to discuss not only what's happening in England, but also on the local scene as well. Shane, a good day it is to you, and exciting times, another international break around the window, but so much happening in the week that's just gone by. Firstly, let's start off by, talking Liverpool. Crystal Palace, with their struggles, we knew it was going to be tough for them facing Liverpool, even though it was a home game for Crystal Palace. Liverpool win 1-0, but Liverpool have just hit the ground running. And I'm glad to say maybe, and I'm sure you are as well as a Liverpool fan, that they really have seen their new coach slot come in and slot in quite nicely, yeah?
Oh, good to be here again, by the way. And no, thank goodness, you know. And I said to you last week, you know, when Liverpool play Palace, they always struggle against them. It's one of their bogey teams, and we saw that again. You know, they went there. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's certain teams that do that with all clubs. You know, they all got their bogey teams, and for Liverpool, it's a victory, which is the main thing. What I like about Liverpool and the Arsenal at the moment are they're finding ways to win. Yeah. And when times are tough, they are finding the ways to win, and that's the sign of a good team. You know, a good result there, but like you say, slotting in. I'm still a little bit wary. Time will tell, but he's a good coach.
Well, I mean, if you look for encouragement, it's 9 wins out of the opening 10. It's just one where they hit a bit of a pothole. You've got players firing just about on all cylinders. Your entire front line now has found the back of the net, whether it's 2 goals or 1 goal, but everybody now, including Jota, is contributing from a scoring point of view. It's working quite nicely.
Yeah, very nicely. You know, and that's the most important thing, is that the goals are coming from all over. Because once you rely on one player, if something happens to that player, you're in trouble. Like you say, various players that are scoring goals. And that's a very, very good thing and a good sign for Liverpool. Some of their players are being in very good form. Others have been, you know, they're in great form and then starting to wane off. But it's a good thing that a lot of players are scoring goals.
Well, talk about scoring goals. Arsenal put Southampton to the sword, a 3-1 scoreline. Some would say comfortable. Looking at the scoreline, what did you make of the match?
I thought it was comfortable for them, you know. And like I say, they found ways of beating teams. Southampton obviously struggling. I feel sorry for them. It's going to be a long season unless they start changing things around. But for Arsenal, just another game, another victory, another 3 points. Well done.
We looked at the Fulham City game last week, and I believe you thought there could be an upset on the cards, maybe a draw on the cards. Turned out to be a 5-goal thriller, and Fulham put up quite a show in the 3-2 loss to City.
Well, that's what I said to you. You know, those games are always difficult, especially Fulham. They've been playing well, and they gave as good as they got. Unfortunately, you know, the class of City pulled them through. People are saying, what's happening with City? I've mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. A certain player, and one man doesn't make a team, but he makes a huge difference in the team, Rodri. Yeah. And that's been the biggest problem, is they're conceding goals because they haven't got him in their covering. They haven't got him firing on all cylinders, helping the defence. Yeah, they've got Kovacic coming in, who scored 2 goals, and he's been brilliant, but he's not a Rodri, and that's the big difference for them.
That is a huge difference. Now, we have spoken highly of Aston Villa. They were up against a struggling Manchester United, and my struggles continue as a United fan, but I thought it was going to be a tough-going match for Manchester United. I think you called it as a possible draw for this one, and you won the money. You don't know the scoreline, but not impressive from both these sides.
You know what? I looked at the draw as a possibility. If you looked at Villa, they played against Bayern midweek in European, so they were tired from that game, drained from that. People don't realise what it takes out of you. You know, they got a victory, a surprise victory, as much as we can say that. And I had a look at that, and I thought, you know, they're going to be a bit tired. I actually thought they should be good enough for a very tired Man United team. But a draw, good result for Man United. Good result for Man United. They got a point.
I guess so, yeah.
But yeah, Villa could see in the game. I don't know if you watched any parts of the game. Villa looked tired. You could see it. And unfortunately for them, they don't have this huge squad. So yeah, but it's a good point for them.
Now, Chelsea, they've been impressive so far this season. Some may have thought 3 points on the offering against Nottingham Forest. Forest take a point away from Chelsea, away at Chelsea. Yeah. Interesting game, though. Very fun game to watch. Your thoughts on that?
Well, once again, we talk about Chelsea, the ups and downs. You don't know which team is going to pitch.
You've said this.
You've got youngsters coming through, playing all the time. Are they getting tired? Or do you need to chop and change? That's the story with Chelsea. You never, ever can predict them 100%. Forest, though, are playing well. Forest have done well this season. They'll be in the top half of the log. They won't be struggling for relegation. But I was disappointed with Chelsea, to be very honest with you. Brighton
have earned the respect as a side that can play good football, and one that can't be ignored. They beat Tottenham 3-2. Were you surprised at that result, firstly? And what do you make of it from a Tottenham point of view?
I was surprised, I have to tell you. I thought Spurs will get something out of it, even if it was a draw. But once again, Spurs up and down. The one week they're brilliant, like they were the previous week, and then you come up against a Brighton team who are a good side, and you get beaten, very much up and down. They need to be more consistent. Those Spurs fans aren't going to be taking that for much longer. And they're going to be making their voices heard. And I know what Spurs fans are like. They don't like that. They don't like being on the other side of the log. So not good times for them at the moment.
Well, Tottenham's one side where you could expect maybe the fans to be throwing their toys out the cot soon. United's another. What do you make of Ten Hag, his United stay overall, and his future at United?
Well, I was chatting to a friend of mine just yesterday, and I said, I love Ten Hag. I think he's a very good manager. He must stay there forever, and for obvious reasons, I'm a Liverpool supporter. So Ten Hag must stay. No, but being serious, if they don't make changes now, then I'm not too sure what's going on with the top brass there. He's had his chance. He hasn't done it. They have brought players in. He still hasn't done it. How much longer can he go? Fergie must be chomping at the block and saying, let's get rid of him. For me, if I was the owner of Man United at this stage, I would cut my losses.
Even with Ten Hag, either there or gone, is the United squad good enough under any coach to shake things up?
Honestly, no. Defensive-wise, they are shocking. So, no.
Well, interesting times then for Manchester United fans like me. While we hope for a brighter future and are still waiting for that light at the end of what has been a long, dark tunnel over the last few years. And well, for others, it's joyous times. International break coming up, and we'll take a short break, come back and talk about all things local and what happened in the biggest talking point over the last week, Pirates up against Stellenbosch in the MTN 8 final.